Hello friends, so this is the second video of our series on PT365 discussion. So in the first part we have discussed the uh, the banking and monetary policy. So around 11 to 12 pages we have covered in all day before yesterday video. Okay, so today we will be doing the finance and taxation, as well as third chapter, that is financial market and payment system. And today I will also try to solve some of the previous year questions on these two topics, okay, in the last 10 years. So let us begin. See, the first topic which is there is the FRBM Act, which means Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Now, why this particular act is in news? Because of the fact that CAG's report has been published. Okay, so let us explore the uh, developments in detail. So recently, Comptroller and Auditor General of India (CAG's) report has highlighted several fiscal inconsistencies and transparency issues in the government's compliance with the FRBM Act. Now let us understand the FRBM Act. And if you see the previous year question, you will find that UPSC has, I guess, 3 or 4 times they have asked questions directly from FRBM Act. I think in 2018 also they have asked this question, and prior to that they have already asked in 2012, and somewhere in 2021 and 22 again they have asked question from FRBM Act. They just they just ask about the provisions of this particular act. So let us see. Okay, so here we are. Now I think everything is now good. Okay, so the purpose why this FRBM Act 2003 was brought. So let us see the purpose. So the purpose, uh, so just a second. Yes. So the purpose, the FRBM Act 2003 was enacted to foster intergeneration equity in fiscal management and ensure long-term macroeconomic stability. Okay, so the fiscal deficit which was increasing, it is trying to decrease that, and for that matter, the steps that are required so that the macroeconomic stability can ensure. Okay, so the act aims to guide the central government's fiscal policy. So fiscal policy, you see, towards a sustainable path, thereby promoting economic stability and responsible financial governance. Okay, a key mandate of this act is that the CAG must conduct an annual compliance review of its provisions. Okay, so it is mandated by the FRBM Act that Comptroller and Auditor General of India will have to conduct an annual compliance review of the provisions made under this act. Okay, so that is the thing. Now FRBM Act mandates the following statements to be laid before the parliament along with the budget. So I think from here they have asked the question that what are the documents that are brought or that are laid down before the parliament along with the budget. Okay, so these three were given in the options. Okay, so very easy question that UPSC has asked. So macroeconomic framework statement. Okay, please remember this provision is very important. Okay, let me change the color of the highlighting. Okay, so second is the medium term fiscal policy statement, and then fiscal policy strategy statement. Okay, so fiscal policy strategy statement means that you have to have a plan ready as to how you are going to bring down your fiscal deficit, fiscal deficit. Okay, means how you are going to bring down your borrowings, and how will you increase your revenues. Okay, so all these strategies are there in fiscal policy strategy statement, which is presented along with the budget in the parliament. Okay, so if so the budget session is going to come this year on 1st February. You will Notice that these three things will be presented together with budget. Okay, one is first is the macroeconomic framework statement. Okay, macroeconomic framework statement. Okay, and then medium term fiscal policy statement. Okay, so please remember macroeconomic framework statement. Okay, please remember macroeconomic framework statement, medium term fiscal policy statement, and fiscal policy statement. Now, what are the key targets under the FRBM Act? Let us see that. So first, we need to understand the parameter. Okay, and then target parameter. So fiscal deficit. So you see fiscal deficit, original FRBM. So it is a 3% of GDP. Okay, so it is said under this act that every government or state, be it a state government or the central government, has to limit. Sorry, this is talking about the GDP. So this is written as the GDP 3% of the GDP. It means it is about the central government. Okay, though they have also suggested for the state government. So you can see here. Okay, so we'll explore that. So here it is saying that the central government should keep the fiscal deficit uh, within 3% of the GDP. Okay, now what is the debt limits? So government, central government, okay, 60, central government, center plus state, equal to or less than 60% of GDP. Okay, and central government, less than 40% or equal to 40% of GDP. Okay, now what is the meaning of this very line? This debt limits means how much you can borrow. Okay, in simple term, how much central government can borrow. So it is the 40%. Okay, less than 40% or equal to 40% of the total GDP of India. Okay, so they are saying, central government, look, you should not borrow more than 40% of GDP. Okay, till 40% if you are borrowing, then it is fine. Okay, and when collectively, if we see general government, center versus state, so look, you both guys together should not borrow more than 60% of GDP. Okay, who is saying this? So this is basically laid down in the FRBM Act. Okay, so that is the thing. Now revised fiscal consolidation with path. Okay, so what is the revised fiscal consolidation path? So 4.55% of GDP fiscal deficit. Okay, now again this now what has happened that this act was brought in 2003. So after so many years, of course, GDP was increasing, so the expenditure of the government borrowing will also ultimately increase, revenue was also increasing. So there was a demand felt that we need to revise this act. Okay, that is why an amendment took place in 2018, whereby they have revised the fiscal consolidation. Okay, this targeting, okay, what that is called the revised fiscal consolidation path. Now they have laid down that less than 4.5% of GDP fiscal deficit. Okay, so how much fiscal deficit can India have? So it is now less than 4.5% of the GDP fiscal deficit. Okay, earlier how much it was? Earlier means in original FRBM provision it was 3%. Currently it is less than 4.5% of GDP fiscal deficit. Okay, now additional guarantees against consolidation fund of India, so equal to or less than 0.5% of GDP in any year. Okay, so that is the provision. Now let us see another thing.